Hi, my name is Matthew Chan, and I'm the author of the TurnKey Publisher series of books. And I'm really excited to be making this video today because I'm going to be talking about the TurnKey Publisher series, which I'm really excited about. Now, the TurnKey Publisher series was envisioned back in 2007, and at that point I had written nearly 20 some titles between books, manuals, and audio programs. And I did it on a part-time basis, and I was able to generate spendable income from it. And I thought to myself that I'm really passionate about this subject, and I know there's other people who want to know how to publish their own works. And so I started writing notes about what I would cover. And the two areas I was going to cover was the area of book publishing and as well as audio publishing. Now originally it was going to be one book, but it was much later into the process when I figured out that I needed to split it up into two separate books, which is what you see today. We've got the TurnKey Publishing, which is Volume 1, and we've got the TurnKey Publisher's Audio Publishing Handbook, Volume 2. And the way this works is, it started out with book publishing for me. There was never any question in my mind that I would write a book first. Now, I know there are discussions about whether it's more profitable or more beneficial to write an ebook versus a book, but for me, the book had the highest credibility, and it was the biggest thing that I wanted to accomplish. So I started out back in 2003 writing The Intrepid Way, and when I completed that, I went to work to starting my next book, Turnkey Investing, which ended up being the first book in a series called the Turnkey Investor Series. In any case, the book publishing aspect of it was really the anchor from which everything else is built on top of. And so I discussed book publishing and then audio publishing, which involves downloadable audios as well as CD programs and so forth. I look at that as an add-on to the book publishing aspect. However, you may or may not want to take that similar approach. So that's why I have split it up in two different books. Some of you may want to jump into audio publishing first versus doing the book publishing, but I will tell you, unfortunately, that if you do that, you're going to still have to buy this book, mainly because that's where I started from, and a lot of the foundation is found in this one. But in any case, we've got two components. Now, the reason why I got into publishing was I really wanted to get the credibility and prestige that came with publishing. I knew years ago that if I wanted to get attention, if I wanted to be competitive, I had to do something that very few of my peers were willing to do. Because I knew for a fact that I wasn't always the smartest guy, the most capable, and so forth. So I had to think of a way to leapfrog my competition. And one of the ways I thought about leapfrogging the competition was simply writing a book. It meant that you had the courage to put your words into print and you had to stand by it. It didn't necessarily make me smarter, but it did make me much more committed to the subject matter. So I was in it for the credibility and the prestige. And of course, like many people, as they go through life, everyone finds their voice. And I found that there were things I wanted to say. And I didn't want to just simply say it verbally. I really wanted to put it into writing. And so the whole notion of having a book inside me was very true for me. Another thing is, I wanted to build a secondary business. Now, some of you know that I'm also into real estate investing, and that's a whole different subject from what this video is about, so I won't take up time for that. But I also wanted a secondary business that would enhance my real estate investing, and I thought that publishing would be a great business to get in because I found out that it was high margin, it was relatively low cost to get in, and it was highly profitable if you could do it right. So I would be able to generate both income and wealth from it. Another reason I got into publishing was for professional growth. It was something I had never done before. in life, I think that for people to grow professionally and personally, you have to be willing to take on things that you've never done before. And because so many people do things only because they're forced to, for this, no one was forcing me to. This was self-imposed. This was a personal goal that I wanted to achieve, and I went and did it. And the last major thing that the reason why I got into publishing was because of the legacy. You know, I'm not, by many standards, I'm not super old right now, but I am in my 40s right now, and I always think about the future. And I thought to myself, do I really have to wait till I'm in my 50s, 60s, and 70s to worry about my legacy? I mean, why not start early and start working towards that? So that's one of the things that was in my mind. Now, regarding the TurnKey Publishing series, another reason it came into birth is because a lot of books I found were very focused on self-publishing. And it is true, my first book was self-published, and my publishing business, Ascend Beyond, started out as a self-publishing business. But it didn't take long for me to bring on an author and other authors to get involved with it, because in my mind, I didn't want it to be a single book, single author company. I wanted my company to have multiple titles, I wanted to have multiple authors, and I wanted to also have multiple formats. I didn't want to be limited to simply books. And in my research, in trying to create my own book and publishing company, I found there was a lot of old school thoughts. And I really did not like a lot of what I saw. I really did not agree with it because, we have the internet, we have the technology, and fortunately I'm well versed enough to have insights to know what goes into creating something like this. So I took a couple of seminars, I read a whole bunch of books, but I went to work to form my own system. And I'm happy to say that doing it part-time over the course of 5 years, I was able to turn out 20-some titles, and it still continues to generate income for me. So I'm very happy to speak to that. And what I have done is put my best ideas and the most current technology and techniques if you are interested in creating your own book. Now again, if you simply want to be self-published and do one book, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're like me and you want many options, you want to have multiple titles, you want to have multiple books, you want to have multiple formats, you want to have multiple authors, friends that work with you, then you're going to want to check out my book. Now, another influence of the TurnKey Publishing series is that there was 3 bottlenecks that I saw that was a big problem. There were New York publishers, there were literary agents, and there were bookstores. All 3 of them combined makes it almost impossible for the average unknown person to get in. I'm going to tell you, unless you're a celebrity author or you have some connections, your chances of breaking through all 3, the New York publishers, the literary agents, and the bookstores, is very, very low. I don't want to say it can't be done, because it has been done, but it was not a road for me. I simply had to create another way to bypass that. So if that excites you, you're going to want to read the TurnKey Publishing series. Now, as I conclude this video, and I'm going to have more videos to follow up on this one, is my mission is I want to democratize the publishing industry. I want to level the playing field. I'm really sick and tired of the publishing business being bottlenecked by the 3 parties that I have spoken about. Through the internet, through the magic of technology, I promise you, you can cut through a lot of that. And the New York publishers are not going to like me for saying this. I want to make it so that anybody who ever wants to be published can get it published. You don't have to ask my permission. You don't have to ask anyone's permission. All you have to do is give yourself permission. And if you're willing to do that and put in the hard work to make this happen, this book is for you. So anyway, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to me in this introductory videos, and I invite you back to listen to my other videos, which I hope will be very informative. Thank you.